Hey investors, welcome back to Vishal Wealth View. Have you ever felt this way that no matter how much money you earn, you always end up with negative balance? If yes, then this video is for you because in today's episode, I'm going to talk about 7 mistakes that salaried people make with their money. So without wasting much time, let's start this episode. Now, first is living paycheck to paycheck. Now, this might be a condition based on which stage of life you are in. If you're a student right now, this might be a situation you cannot get out of because you are going to rely on your parents for money. So this is a time when you try to gain more skill set, especially in this changing world, because the prime time for you to earn money is going to be in your mid 20s and 30s. That's the time when you should be most equipped with skill. For folks who are already earning money, have a job, and are facing this situation that they're living paycheck to paycheck, I think this is a good time that you take a look at yourself and your habits. Maybe it's time to cut down some of the spending, some of the luxury items, some of the purchases, reduce some of the show offs that you're trying to do among your friends, because eventually, whatever wealth you have is the amount you have saved after all of your expenses. So try to keep that number as high up as possible because you cannot start your financial wealth journey until unless you get the savings rate up. Now, for that to change, you first need to change your mindset that you cannot keep on earning this way forever in your life. And there might be a time when you have to take a step back or probably focus on different things than the current work that you're doing. If you have that kind of mindset, then only you should think about investing and think about long-term wealth building. If you're fine running in rat race, living paycheck to paycheck, I think you should not even watch this entire video and you should be done with the episode. Second is, even though, okay, you are saving some amount of money, but you're not budgeting anything. You're like, okay, I would be able to save 10% or 20% of my money. But still, if you try to budget your entire monthly expense, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to get some amount of extra cash that can increase that savings amount. So budgeting is really important. Now, I personally try to budget my expense into three parts: my needs, my wants, and things that I do for fun. I keep three bucket constant every month, and I use different apps like Walnut to track this and Splitwise to track this. Now, is there any rule for budgeting? I would recommend just go hard on savings first, like keep it above 50%, 60% if you can, and then try to live a life frugally, and then increase expense as you think you need things rather than you want things. And before having any purchase, just think about question like, do I really uh, am I really going to use this product 3 months, 6 months from now, or am I just going to use it for a few days and then it's just going to sit in my cupboard or any drawer that I'm never going to open? If the answer to that question is no, you should probably not do that purchase, even if it fits in any one of your bucket. Third mistake that most of salaried employee make is not having an emergency fund and also having a wrong perception of emergency fund. So first of all, what is emergency fund? Emergency fund is any fund that you have saved up in a liquid asset that you can access in 24 to 48 hours, and the amount can be 4 months to 8 months of your monthly expense or your monthly salary. Now, why 4 months to 8 months? Because I think if you are earning money in a private job and if you have a job loss, that's a good amount of time in which you can find another job or look for another opportunity, or you might have a cyclical turnaround in your business as well. So keep that amount of money because you never know what kind of emergency you might face in terms of having an event at the house, someone getting a like emergency at the hospital, your friend might be needing that money, or some of your family member might be needing that money. So that's why keep some amount of money in a liquid asset that you can access within 1 or 2 days. And this is going to be serving as a base for you to build wealth. Now, after you have figured out how am I going to not live paycheck to paycheck and have a proper budgeting of my monthly income, and also have built an emergency fund. Now it's time to get started with investing. But wait a second, I think you're going to fall into a trap. That's called lifestyle inflation because as soon as you have some reserve cash building up in an emergency fund, you'll feel uh, a need of spending that money because some of your friends are buying some new gadgets, and you should avoid it. This is called lifestyle inflation. That's the simplest term for this particular concept. And this should be avoided at all costs because it is going to lead you into an endless cycle of EMIs, loans that you can never get out of, and it is going to hamper your growth and wealth creation journey. Now, fifth mistake that most folks do, even after starting to save money, is not investing. By investing, I mean not saving that money into a debt fund or an FD. Start moving that money into equity where it can actually work in a business and generate more returns for you. And this is where your money will be at risk. So you need to make sure whatever capital you are investing is locked in from a horizon of 3 to 5 years. You cannot move that money from within 3 to 5 years because there's a good chance that you can hit volatility. And when you're planning to use that money for any of the future goals that you have, and the market goes down, you'll be in a bad position. So whatever money you think you are going to not need for 3 to 5 years, just start putting that money into an index fund. That's the simplest thing you can get started with, and start your financial growth journey or your financial wealth journey as soon as possible. Now, sixth and one of the most important thing that you need to do in this entire process is setting the financial goals. You should be able to say, I need this much amount of money by this age because of this reason. And based on that, you should be investing your money. The goal can be like really simple as I need to buy a car in next 5 years, so I need 1 crore rupees for that, or like 50 lakh rupees for that. I need to buy a house, I need 2 CR for that. I need to get married, I need X amount of that. So you should be able to set out these goals before starting to invest this capital and this money in the market. Now, why do you need this goal setting process? First of all, it will keep your direction focused. And whenever there's too much noise in the market, markets going up and down, you'll not just divert your attention and you'll just keep your uh, looking at your goal and stick to the process. So that's why getting your financial goals is one of the most important thing in your financial wealth building journey. Now, I've seen a lot of my friends and my relatives who did not plan out a health emergency, and they were in situations where they were not able to pay for the best medical care that they can provide for their family members. So you have to understand that health emergencies are unforeseen. You cannot predict them. And just like you cannot predict the stock market, that's why you need to make sure you're having the right health insurance, the right life insurance, and you're not delaying that process. Because if you're doing that, you are also putting your family at risk and yourself at risk, and your wealth building process at risk. So make sure as soon as you start getting that monthly paycheck and you have the right insurance clocked in so that whatever financial goals you're setting for yourself and your family, you can work towards them without worrying about too many things.